there is a big difference between a real travel motorcycle and the one that you bought for a weekend fun. In this video, I'm gonna tell you why. This video is going to be one shot, so if I make any mistakes, please excuse myself. I'm gonna discuss with great details what exactly you need to look for a motorcycle that you plan to use for long trips. Let me first show you my motorcycle and then tell you what is my opinion about the motorcycle that you can have for a motorcycle trip. The one that I travel with at the moment is Yamaha Tenere 700, and the moment is on 110,000 kilometers. And at the moment I'm located in Osh, Kyrgyzstan, in a guest house in the city, on my way to Songkul Lake in Kyrgyzstan. The temperature here at the moment is 42 degrees. This is one of the things that you have to consider when you plan your trips, when you plan what kind of motorcycle to buy. So, number one, functionality. You need a motorcycle that is capable to be ridden in any kind of terrain. Any kind of terrain. Even if you plan to stay only on the asphalt, in this part of the world, you don't know what kind of asphalt you're gonna have, how long it will be, or what will change just a few hours before you or a few days before you. If you travel only around Europe, it's obvious that what kind of motorcycle you need, but when you need a real adventure type of trip, when you plan to make adventure type of trip, the things are a little bit different. So when I say functionality, I mean a motorcycle that could be ridden on and off-road with the equal, I would say, possibility or capabilities, something like that. Not to be best on off-road but not good on-road, not to be best on-road but not good off-road, some kind of compromises. Usually these are dual sport type of motorcycles, no more than 200 kilograms, something like that. Heavier than that is going to be difficult to control when you need to ride off-road. Now, the next point, reliability. This always been number one priority during my trips, and every time when I make my choice about motorcycle, I always look for good reliability, because without reliability in this part of the world or any part of the world different than Europe, you will have a big problem. Spare parts here are difficult to get, and if you are able to get them, it usually takes time and a lot of money. And especially if you ride some kind of exotic, it will be even more difficult. And when I say reliability, you need something that will last for thousands of kilometers with almost no problems during the trip. As I told you, at the moment, our motorcycles done more than 11,000 kilometers in some of the most harsh terrains that you can imagine. From these 10,000 kilometers, more than 3,000 or 4,000 are very hard dirt roads, a lot of bad roads, bumpy roads, and honestly, I even don't know how they survived all of this punishment. And so far, they're in great condition. Nothing is broken, everything works. I mean, wheel bearings, suspension, everything. In one of the days, this top nut here was loose. You can imagine what kind of bumping it had all the time. And even so, they still handle everything really, really well. I'm impressed once again from Yamaha quality and the effort they put to build something like that that could last for thousands of kilometers in these very raw conditions. Next point, easy maintenance. Oil and air filters, oil changes and everything like this. On some models, this is like a very difficult job and will require a special service. For example, to change the oil filters on Honda Africa Twin, you have to disassemble 50% of the front part of the motorcycle. In our case, because we just wash our filters right now, we just need to remove the seat and the filter is over there. That's it. I even have a pre-filter that stays on the top of my filter to collect all of the dust. I'm really sorry that I didn't show you what was the condition after no more than 10 days riding on the dirt. And we just washed it. They'll dry here very quick on this heat. Plummet got an even bigger filter because he has a different air box. This is mine pre-filter. So here they will dry for less than probably 20 minutes and we can put it again. But if the access is difficult, if the maintenance is difficult, all of this will force you to postpone it whenever you have the chance. Also on these models, the oil change is very simple. You remove the bush plate, then the oil filter, you drop the oil, you put the new oil, and everything is easy. Easy peasy. This is the situation. And that's why it's so important to have easy maintenance on your motorcycle. Anything that could happen, you should be able to handle it alone. Otherwise, you're gonna have a big problem. You might say that you can always find a help, but not that easy in this part of the world. Also, keep your motorcycle or keep your choice of a motorcycle that is below the radar. What I mean by that, not expensive and not luxury. If you have some kind of expensive exotic, you will risk a lot in terms of security and safety. In general, in this part of the world, people are nice, but when you provoke them with something so expensive, you just never know. Next point, accessible spare parts. The same story. Even these Yamaha teners are very popular in Europe and in many other places around the world, like the US, but here I haven't seen even single one. So there is no spare parts in the shops. Everything needs to be brought with you. And luckily, they are reliable enough so that we don't need so many spare parts. But we brought our oil filters and spare wheel bearings or something that we might need on the road. But if you have another motorcycle, this might be a big problem to find a spare part. Even the tires are problems. The tire that we bought today, these are Mitas 09, and they are from 2018, very old tires, and they are 140 size, not 150, but these are the only tires that we were able to get here. And they cost $200 each, expensive old tires, but there are no choices here. At the moment I'm in Kyrgyzstan. Maybe in Bishkek you can have a better choice, but in Osh, nothing like this. Another thing that is very important is long suspension travel. Without it, you will risk to damage your motorcycle. Even if you have a very strong bush plate, if you don't have enough suspension travel, you will hit it many times per day, especially if you go away from the classic roads. Most of the people usually go to the classic roads of M41, the classic Pamir highway. But we're not like most of the people. We decided to go to the south roads from Ishkushim to Khargush. Then we decided to go to Zorkul Lake, places where off-road is a completely different story than the one that you can see on the classic roads here and there a little bit. In this part of our journey, we spent many hours per day, many hundreds of kilometers on bumpy roads, river crossings, stones, and anything that you can imagine. And a good suspension travel is just a must. Number 7, spoke wheels. I understand that people like the design of the alloy wheels, but the spoke wheels are must in this part of the world, especially when you have bumpy roads. In Turkmenistan, for example, the road from Ashgabat to Darvaza gas crater was the worst that I have ever seen. So 500 kilometers of so many potholes that you cannot even imagine. We even got one flat tire over there, so many bumps. Again, I'm surprised that these motorcycles survived all of this. About the tubes and tubeless, I am a supporter of the tubes because you can always fix the tube, but you cannot really fix a bended rim. I understand that it's easy with tubeless rims, but always pros and cons, whatever you decided. Number 8, possibility to carry luggage. Because now on the moment on the market you can find many different options. For example, like this Kove 800 XT or whatever were the letters over there. It's maybe 20-30 kilograms lighter than the Tenere, but the subframe is very fragile, actually basically no subframe at all. And in your trips, you will have some kind of luggage, and if you don't have a possibility to tighten it somewhere, how exactly this is going to work? Even though we have a very light luggage, the saddlebags that we use, they still need to be tightened to something. And when you don't have a luggage rack like this, or any possibility to hang anything, how all of this is going to work? So sometimes it's better to have maybe 10 or 20 kilograms more, but to have a stable luggage rack or much more stable machine that will survive all the punishment. So basically these are the requirements that came to my mind right now. Of course there is more, but you don't need to focus that much. And if you notice, I haven't said anything about ABS, traction control, cruise control, and any of this, because none of this, let me repeat it, none of this is essential. None of this. ABS in this part of the world will harm you more than will give you any benefits. I turned off mine many thousands of kilometers ago. I basically took off the fuse and never put it back, because here the roll change every few minutes, and I cannot stop every few minutes and turn it off. And if you forget it, especially downhill, man, it's gonna be a problem. Learn how to stop without it, and then you don't need to worry about all of this. I really hope that this video will help to at least one person. Press like or dislike, whatever it deserves. In my online course, Adventure Riding Without Illusions, I share many more tips on any kind of different topics. Basically, I gave all the knowledge that I gained in the last 15 years, and you can learn everything for only 6-7 hours. You can find links in the description down below. Keep riding, keep smiling, and see you in the next video.